I don't want to hurt your feelings, so therefore I'll repress my own, which is a statement where we are more concerned with another person's feelings rather than our own. And something that trauma survivors can actually go through their lives doing is negating their own emotions or expression of emotions due to fear of repercussions or wanting to please the other person. So let's do an EFT tapping, as EFT stands for Emotion Freedom Technique. So let's get a bit of emotional freedom to some of these repressed emotions. So taking full responsibility for your own well-being and repeating after me. Let's go with that flow and let's begin to tap. Even though these emotions that I have, I was not allowed to have in certain environments where it was not safe to express them. And in order to keep myself safe, I chose to repress them. And I choose to love, honor, and accept myself. Even though I may have spent a lot of my time and energy making sure everyone was pleased, but in the end, I was feeling displeased with my emotions that I was not allowed to express. And I choose to love, honor, and accept myself. Even though it may be hard to acknowledge my emotions, and it may be hard to feel into my emotions, because some of these emotions carry immense intensity that I might be scared of myself. And I choose to love, honor, and accept myself. I don't want to hurt the other person's feelings, so I'll repress my own. And in repressing my own, my emotional expression of self never finds its completion, rather finds repression deep within my body and deep within my mind. And this emotional oppression carries with me in my day-to-day, and how I interact with people, and how I interact with my relationships, and even the relationship of myself. And sometimes it's hard to connect to these emotions because I'm not sure how I feel, because I'm spending a lot of my time concerned with the feelings of others, making sure everyone is nice and happy, and making sure everyone is nice and pleased. And I forget myself in this time, and I forget my emotions as I am in service of others, and I forget how to tend to my own. And I might forget how to tend to my own needs, or what I desire most in life, or what I want in my life. And this repression may be due to repercussions of the punishment that was had when I did try to express myself, or when I did try to have a voice that spoke up for myself, but I was spoken down too, and that I was better to be seen and not heard. And so too was my emotions. And I may have carried this on, either unconsciously or sometimes consciously, where I may think it's selfish to have my own needs and desires, to tend to my own wants, and to care for myself, which may lead to emotional burnout, as I spend a lot of energy making sure my environment is safe. And in this safety of environment, with all the people in it, I may be trying to avoid some emotional repercussions from expressing my emotional self. I may have been shouted at or hurt physically whenever I tried to have my say, whenever I fought differently to a person or people within my environment. And in order to keep safe, I made sure their needs were tended to, that they were pleased, so that I could avoid further harm. And I might have been quite good at predicting their moods, predicting their behaviors, knowing when they come home at certain times, feeling the shift of energy within a room. And this hypervigilance, where my senses are on guard, and if they're on guard, they're protecting of myself. And if I'm living a life in protection, I'm living a life in fear. Fear of the repercussions of simply being myself. And my thoughts and my emotions take a back seat to my driving in life. And I might not know what I want in my life, as I lack the drive or lack the desire to know that I am deserving of things. Because my desire and my energy might be in keeping safe and making sure everything is nice and safe and sound. And deep within me, I might not be feeling so safe and sound. There are some emotions that no matter how I repress them, they bubble up. Perhaps in my sleep, I might wake up completely with fright, completely in terror. I might go through my day with a headache. The back of my neck might be really tense. My stomach might be all in a knot. My chest is tight, and my legs just feel like they want to run. And all this stress stored within my body, all this tension, all this constriction, all this repression of self, of these emotions, where I was not allowed to be me. And this disallowance of self, this devoid of emotions, was well taught to me. And boy, was I disciplined by teachers that saw punishment as a way to keep me in check, a way to keep me in line, and a way to be better seen and not heard. And the more that I disavow my emotions, the more the expression of self tends to build and build. Like clenching a fist, I can only hold that tension for so long before it gets painful and before I run out of energy. But to open my fist means I become more receptive of things. And this guarded sense of self may fear being vulnerable, because I may have been vulnerable in the past, where I tried to put in a boundary and I tried to stand up for my sense of self. But due to faulty teaching and this destruction of character, I just simply couldn't build a foundation from teachers that saw me as a tool and a poor workman blames their tool. And I might not be to blame for all these emotions that are within me. All this blame, shame, and guilt that I've had to carry for so long. All this anger when wrong was done to me and I was told I wasn't allowed to defend myself. And it's not right. But maybe I'll make myself right by allowing some of my expressions to flow, to allow this constriction of self to start to ease and start to purify some of the inflammation within me. Start to breathe a little bit easier and start to feel a little bit safer within myself. And start to find my own self that is separate from the self that was in service of others. Perhaps I want to please myself for once. Perhaps it's not selfish to tend to my own needs, for my own self-care, for my own health and well-being. If I'm living a life in burnout, then I'm only going to be torn apart. But there are many parts of me that want to connect back in and form this unity of self. And this unity of self is a self that cares for its sense of self and recognizes its experiences as valid to oneself. And these experiences that happen to me deserve my care and attention, and deserve my self-love, and deserve acknowledgement. And they deserve to flow, and I deserve to let go of that which no longer serves me. I'm allowed to have boundaries. I'm allowed to have a different opinion to others. And I'm allowed to make mistakes in order to get things right. I'm allowed to have my own time and space to heal and grow, and to get to know myself. Because if I'm always serving someone else, then all I know is how to protect myself from this person without really knowing my own self. And I've got a lot of energy to give, but perhaps I can give some to myself and make sure that I'm happy. And some people might not like this, and some people need to learn how to take care of themselves, as I learn to take care of my own self. As I grow and mature, and this maturity of self shall learn from his experiences. As I learn to walk, I fell over a few times, but now I have the freedom of movement. And as I learn to be with my emotions and tend to them, and know that they are important to me, I might find some emotional freedom and create some space within my mind and my body to allow so much more in and let so much out. I'm allowed to have my emotions, and I'm allowed to express them in mind, body, and spirit And taking a full breath in and out. And we're allowed to have our emotions, we're allowed to express our emotions, we're allowed to have our own boundary of self. And things, even something like anger. Anger can be quite destructive, but it can also be the indicator of when we're being wronged, and it can be our boundary defense. So learning that all of our emotions are valid and all of our emotions deserve our care and attention, because if we only put attention into one particular feeling or emotion, then the others become out balanced. So making sure that we have a harmony of self by having a harmony of attending to all parts of ourselves, and knowing that all parts of ourselves is not separate parts, it's a fluidity of unity. So I'm Dion from Evolution Support Services. I offer EFT tapping one-on-one online, so check out evolutionsupportservices.com. Plenty more videos on this channel and plenty more videos to come. So I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.